everybody, it's Barbie with Bellspalsy Talk. I'm really excited today. I'm going to be talking to Tasha Jones.
Hi, we got it. How are you doing?
Good.
Good. I'm just going to turn my volume up. You look beautiful.
Oh, thank you. It's so nice to see you.
Yes, you too. We've been chatting here in the background, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us. Tasha's just going to let us know about her story. You just got back from work, you said.
I did.
And what do you do for work?
I hand instruments to the surgeon. I'm a certified surgical technologist.
Cool. Cool.
So,
I see a lot like on the movies.
Yes,
always,
Grey's Anatomy.
You're always an important part of surgeries in the movies that we see in the surgery room for sure. Hi to everybody joining us here. This is Tasha. We're going to be chatting about her journey here with Bell's palsy. So in 2021, you got the great day that you woke up with Bell's palsy. Yay, lucky you. So why don't you tell us a little bit about what happened with you?
Let's see. I do want to say I had tested positive for COVID January 1st of 2021. And then I didn't really think I was sick. I had about 4 days of extreme vertigo, like dizzy, throwing up, couldn't keep anything down, just was real wobbly. And my mouth and my eye was just like wide open, and I just I knew something was serious because it just didn't feel right.
Yeah, you're like, I didn't read about this on all the signs for the COVID symptoms.
No, I didn't.
So you headed into the doctor, I would assume, to find out.
I drove myself to the ER, and they went ahead and did a CAT scan, and just started me on the steroids, and I just didn't know how to take care of myself. Like my eyeball was just, I was just wide open, and I didn't know what to do, and I didn't know how to care for my eye. My eye is what bothered me the most. And then just drinking and having to use a straw, and it was just
all these weird things that you always take for granted we have that you don't even know. So they did know that it was Bell's palsy right away for you when you got to the ER. Yes,
they did. Of course, me having COVID, my regular doctor didn't want to see me. And it was just like, no one wanted, I had to do a televisit, a video chat with the doctor. And so it was just kind of hard. And I just felt like I was my own advocate. Like I had to just, try to figure it out myself.
Yeah, and that's scary, especially like you're saying with COVID, and there's no human interaction where you can go to a doctor, ask the questions. That must have been really hard. I mean, all of us, or all the people that I talk to on these talks, feel alone and scared and all that. But that must have been just so scary for you. I'm sorry that you went through that. Now, you also had another loss. My mom's just in the kitchen making a lot of noise, heating up her coffee. So if everybody wants to say hi to my mom, she's here. But anyways, I'm just at my mom's house right now. Now you also had the loss of your dad last year. I'm so sorry to hear that. I lost my dad a few years ago as well. So obviously that compounded to the challenges of your year. Probably one of the worst years of your life, I would imagine.
Yeah, I literally, I lost my face, and then 6 months later I lost my dad. And so, the stress of everything, and hair loss. I didn't know hair loss could be so serious with this. So
you had hair loss with Bell's palsy?
Well, just having COVID and that being a part of it.
The stress, for sure, that definitely makes a big difference. Now, I really love, and the reason why I contacted you here on Instagram is I love your view on this resiliency, putting last year behind you, obviously starting again this year. You're a person of faith, I noticed. So just having your faith in a higher power has obviously helped you a lot.
Yes, it really has.
And yeah, I really admire that. I think that regardless of whether, you know, what higher power we believe in, if we put our faith in, you know, that things will get better. And you obviously are a very, you know, a big example for that. So is there anything that you can share about how you were able to get from a place of feeling hopelessness and grief and loss? And I know every day is different and some days are easier than others. But is there anything that you can kind of comment on for people watching, like to give some advice on that?
I definitely am a huge fan of, I want to say that acupuncture really helped me a lot. Like I didn't really know about acupuncture, and, you know, just helping the nerves and everything in your face just feel, you know, for the Bell's palsy side of that, I really believe acupuncture is a good thing and should be talked about. But just, I mean, I couldn't done it without Jesus and praying. So I do want to just, you know, say that's who my power is. And I just, each day is, I just take it one day at a time and just,
that's all we can do, right?
That's all I know to do. And just, you know, it gets better. It's not always going to go away. It's just a part of me. And I just feel like it's my new story to tell, and for people not to give up and not to lose hope that, you know, this may be your new face and you just have to kind of accept it and just, you know, it gives something to talk about to someone. And so, I mean, I kind of just take each day, you know, one day at a time.
Yeah, and that's all, you know, and that's all we can do. Like we say, some days good. And Bell's palsy, you know, the loss of a loved one, anything like that. I mean, that's just kind of what we can do, is take each day and try our best and try to focus on, you know, I have a lot of stuff going on in my life right now, but try to focus on, like my husband's like, focus on something good. Focus on making connections with people that understand, like we are doing here today, and people who lift you up. And I think that when we can focus more on those things, then maybe things like our face don't take a front seat, you know, in our life. And it doesn't mean that it goes away, like you're saying. And, you know, we can accept something without being happy about it. It's not like I look in the mirror and I think like, woo, lucky me, like I got a realized face, yay, like, you know, but we can be accepting of it and still not be a fan. I can still love and appreciate everybody that I've met and understand that these things are happening for a higher reason, or I meant to create this community with everybody, or things like that. But that doesn't mean that I have to be happy about it. That's something that I'm learning right now. You know, I had Dr. Mikkel on a couple months ago, and we can have two feelings at once. That's what I'm learning. And so have you been making any changes kind of in your self-care, or, you know, slowing down or taking better care of yourself?
I just try to do something to, if it's getting a facial or getting a pedicure or getting another acupuncture treatment, I just always try to do something for myself. I want to be able to do everything I've done to get my face, you know, I want to say at least tried to do something.
Yeah.
So
yeah, no, and that's great. That is absolutely true for myself as well. You know, as long as it's not something that's going to be doing any, you know, damage or things like that. I've tried like a lot of stuff, and I'm happy to share, of course, as you guys all know, about all the things that I've kind of been through. But I really think that whole slowing down and taking time for ourselves and listening, because don't you find it very interesting that if you get stressed, or I don't know for you, but if I feel like I'm being taken advantage of, or I'm not speaking up for myself, first place I feel is my face. And I find that that's very interesting for me, where it's a kind of a sign that it's like, okay, something's off. You need to reassess something, you know? And that's what I kind of feel like a lot of us have in common, is that we kind of are doing too much for other people. And then God or the universe or whatever higher power is kind of like, hey, let's just kind of recalibrate and maybe kind of, you know, pay attention to yourself a little bit as well. especially for yourself. I mean, you have a job, you're taking care of other people, you're on the move, I would imagine, working long hours. So, you know, you get run down, and, you know, we got to take care of ourselves. So, if anybody here on the feed has any questions, we're definitely open to having questions or comments. So make sure you do that. What are you up to for the rest of the week?
I'm trying to think.
One day at a time, right?
Yeah. There is a lady here that's doing some kind of myology of the face, and I was interested in that and thought I would have a consult done from her and see what she has to say. Just there I am trying to do everything I can to just see what's out there to, you know.
So what does that mean, myology? I'm not familiar with that.
Well, I'm not really sure either.
Oh,
I'm supposed to just meet
Gotta go
with
find
her
out.
tomorrow to see, you know, what she has to offer. I think it's more of speech therapy and training your mouth.
Okay,
So.
great. I would definitely make sure you let me know about it.
Okay.
So that we can chat more about, you know, letting other people know what it is, even if you go and check it out and decide that it isn't going to be either for you or relevant kind of Bell's palsy. Absolutely let me know, because I think that that's also a really important thing for us to share is, hey, I went, spent the time and or money or whatever, check this out. And then the professional was like, no, you're totally in the wrong place. That would be a good thing to share in our community as well. Yusanita had hair loss on the paralysis side of her head. I mean, I guess maybe it makes sense. I guess maybe those nerves get paralyzed too. I haven't really heard that much, but that's scary for sure. You know, or stress. So I'm glad Yusanita, like, you guys both have the hairs back now, like your hair loss
It's
is
slowly coming back.
Yeah, that's fortunate. Opinion about acupuncture. Yes, acupuncture is safe. It is quite controversial whether the electrostimulation, I have heard from most experts that can cause synkinesis. So I would highly recommend making sure you do your research there, but acupuncture for sure. For myself, and I don't know about, and you, sorry?
I said I have synkinesis, but I just feel like the acupuncture is just kind of relaxing for me.
Yeah. I said that too. Like, even if, you know, I do know that it is effective, and I do have a lot of people coming on and saying that and all that, but also, yeah, that half an hour where you're lying there or however long it is, you're resting, you're in a resting meditative state. So even if, you know, if even that's the self-care part that you take, I definitely recognize it. How do you handle it when somebody says your Bell's palsy is barely noticeable? Yeah, that's really interesting. A lot of people ask me that, and I don't know. I just kind of say thank you and move on. To me, it doesn't bother me as much, but how do you feel about that, Tasha?
I kind of take it 50-50. I feel like, you know, sometimes I mean, when I'm talking to someone or when I see myself in the video and half of my face is not moving properly, like, I take it like
videos different story for sure.
I take it as a compliment, but also, you know, it's just another way for me to kind of tell my story. So
yeah, that's a good way to look at it for sure. I think that that's the only way for us to look at it. And actually, just to share with everybody, I've had some professionals ask me, and I'm hoping to arrange a talk, because they've asked me kind of how to approach patients or people with Bell's palsy to be sensitive to that, whether, you know, oh, I can barely notice, or I can notice. Yeah, I don't know, Wendy, or you're, you say you feel like you're being patronized when rather nothing be said. Yeah, I mean, I think that's personal. That's personal. I would say that I'm kind of like that too. I don't think that that people, I really need to draw attention to it, although I do like to explain it to people so that people have more knowledge about it. So yeah, like Tasha said, it's kind of 50-50. Maybe it depends on the day.
Yeah, for real.
But that is something that I do get a lot of questions about from people who don't have Bell's palsy, about how to approach it in a sensitive manner. And I mean, I think it is just personal preference. Like we said, like, it just depends. And of course, to the degree of synkinesis or healing as well, because, you know, some people may have an easier time time with it than others. So thank you so much for sharing your story, and I'm so glad to have you on. I really want to hear about your appointment with that new practitioner, and kind of understand maybe something else that's going on. I do recommend to anybody who is joining us the book Fix My Face by the Center for Facial Recovery is an amazing resource, and I would really recommend that everybody get that for sure. So thank you so much, Tasha, for joining us. I really enjoyed talking to you, and you did a wonderful job. And we'll talk to you everybody soon. Have a wonderful day.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye.